we start off the semifinals of WardiTV Monday 27 on the bottom half. It is going to be bottom half of the bracket. I mean, on the top portion of the map, it is going to be our Blue Pros player here, MaxPax, as we take on Clem in the bottom left-hand side. One of this is going to be a favorite going into the finals, taking on Askilus, who upsets Hero to make it to that top two. First time Askilus has ever made the finals of WardiTV Monday. Don't forget that all four players in the top four of WardiTV Mondays for the next few weeks will be qualifying directly into the WardiTV Spring Championship. But the winner of each WardiTV Monday will get a special seed that will allow them to bypass a group stage of the WardiTV Spring Championship as well. So, basically, Hero won last week. He will not have to play the first round of the Spring Championship. He gets to bypass that already. So, this kind of basically this acts as like a mega qualifier. Like if you win a Monday, you get a real big bonus of just not having to play through that early stage. The idea is to let these guys have a chance to bypass that. Gives us some more interesting matches in Group Stage 1, which is always a big plus as well. Kind of a win-win. They have to, the best guys have to play a little bit less. We don't have to see them winning games we expect them to win anyway. Get more interesting matches in total. It's a fun experiment. We'll see how well it goes as the SCV nibbles at the probe. We play swapsies and change around a little bit for a few moments. SCV's chasing probes and getting nibbled. Cybercore coming up. Alan coming through. Command Center just drops down into the natural as well. Again, the CC and the reactor coming online. The orbital very much so still coming into play. And obviously first few moments not too crazy. No Reaper from Clem most notably at the moment, so we'll not be moving into the Reaper play. That means a little bit less scouting on his side. He only has this Marine. But of course it means a slightly faster factory. It means a slightly faster reactor. And then potentially that next stage of the game can be a little bit more quick to get going. And hence some of his aggression might hit a little bit earlier as well. Well, the CC and Nexus both finishing soon. Like I say, it's been fairly normal throughout the early moments, and MaxPax adding a Twilight Council is just going to amplify that kind of feeling of normality. Him playing Blink is obviously a pretty normal go-to, so no surprises. There's a couple Marines are going to fight back against the Adept. Adept takes some damage. We lose one Marine already. Racks in the Tech Lab still very much so on the way up. Add a few more Marines still coming into play. Get those on the way and see what else we can do as the couple Marines come about. The depots are going to lower. Getting that Blink building up, had that warp gate on, the few Marines very much so just sitting there and chilling as the Adepts continue to threaten with the Shade after Shade at the moment. Cyclone and Marines still coming through as well. Just going to be having ourselves the couple of gates coming online. Add some probes in. Obviously this Marine count looking good. It's going to start stepping out onto the map. It's supported by a Cyclone. Starport finishing shortly, so we'll see some aid in the skies from Clem in the near future, but not just yet. Because he's on the double racks, he's going to be having just, again, even more Marines, but more importantly, the nice fast stim pack upgrade coming through, so that's going to be one of the things we've got to keep our eyes on as the Adepts here are going to commit to that Shade, and the Cyclone will get one. We'll begin to chase for the second. Obviously, it will have a Shade available. See how much damage we can do to it before the Shade is gone. Is it enough? I think it is enough. Cyclone will just get the kill. So both Adepts get cleaned out, and MaxPax will lose on both of those. Let's say that Medivac very much so still coming through. The Stim Pack and the Siege Tank being added on as well. And a few additional Marines still gathering up just on the ramp for a few moments. Marine Tank Medivac going to begin to move out. See the Medivac peeling back a little as the Observer is going to see this army and Obviously, MaxPax just gets some info there. I was going to say, it looked like Clem noticed the Observer and did step the Cyclone forward, was just waiting for the scan, was a moment or two away, gets it, kills the Observer off. Clem on point so far at the start of this opening game. And so now begins to move out. Obviously, MaxPax does have Blink at this stage. Clem is going to try and meet these Blink Stalkers and try and trade with them as best he can. Stim momentarily finishing, and that will give us an interesting few moments here as we can potentially get these Marines involved a little bit more so. Next Siege Tank in the medevac as well. Obviously, again, these tank siege would be huge. We actually cyclone our way to one of those Stalkers killed. We see this Observer again. So that's a second Observer going down. Great eyes so far today by Clem. Spotting that Observer kind of shading through the map is not easily done, but has been a 2 out of 2 so far by Clem now. And that's so frustrating because you want to build up other units off that Robo. Spending 75 gas on an OBS and then not being able to use it and then having to build another and not getting to use that either. Like, that's rough. Because now the tanks sit between the bases. The Immortal did pop out. Obviously, that's going to be exactly why you don't want to keep building Observer, because you want to build an Immortal. And now you've got the Immortal, but obviously you don't have the Obses. I'm just going to be seeing the gates taking some more shots. It will go down. The Stalker's going to blink onto the tanks here now. They're going to take quite a few hits as they chase. They're actually going to get chased themselves. I mean, that's going to be huge damage. All but, I was going to say all but one. It's actually going to be every single one going down. The reinforcements help to catch. We do lose the other siege tank at the front, but man, we just got rid of every single Stalker. This could not be more disastrous for MaxPax. Stalkers are expensive units. They are not cheap to build. They are very expensive to replace. They're the kind of units you really do not want to replace in the slightest, in fact. Well, that is real bad as our medevac here at least gets shut down. When I say shut down, obviously it stays alive, but it just gets pushed away. Now Fusel's coming through with that charge. Obviously not too many of them just yet. We're going to start grabbing an Immortal as well. Tech units just falling like that is going to be brutal. Like that Unbow reposition the mines just didn't really need it there. You already had enough bio to take on everything else that was happening. So yeah, no need to try and make anything else happen as we dive forward for the next Immortal. Another Stalker goes down. The Fusel's being kept alive by a battery, but as that runs out of energy, it becomes even tougher again. We still have some units elsewhere that are poised as we really just have Clem completely dominating this opening game. MaxPax has unfortunately let this get a little bit too out of hand, and Clem will just steamroll on ultra low. And side then looking for the bounce back and the comeback. It is going to be MaxPax. He is the Blue Protoss player in the bottom left corner of Killer's Mile. Top right, our red Terran player from Team Liquid is Clem. See if Clem wants to open Reaper this game, if he wants to go Marine Heavy again. Those early pushes from Clem, always so dangerous, always so much potential, and I really saw it already in that last map how it can pan out and how it can go so quickly into your favor. Probe taking a turn up towards the top. Probe nibbles up an SCV. SCV is going to go and nibble back at the probe. And the Cyber Core coming about. Let's get that going. And the Reaper and the Orbital Command coming online. And the probe here going to step on forward the SCV. Would love to do what I can. Going to throw down the command center for a couple of moments. And the probe will continue to nibble. This time it is the Reaper. I like it. MaxPax will punish you if you consistently no scout or take the route of less scouting. So I think, going one game no scout and then the next game be like, yeah, actually I'm going to build my Reaper here. I think is a very reasonable and well thought out approach from Clem. Good way to time it out, I think. Adept's going to come about. Come on, Marines jump into the bunker as we play defense here, and the Adept will not be able to do too much against that at all. Adept going to fire. Reaper taking damage. The Marine and the Reaper together going to fire back. The Adept is low, but it is going to live, so that's a dead Reaper. Kind of wild because Clem didn't get to scout with his Reaper, so Clem builds a Reaper, keeps it at home, does not get to scout, and loses the Reaper. It's not meant to go like that, so Clem is blind despite having invested into the scouting unit. And is now going to be trying to clean up these Adepts still, but not having the best of times. Much better opening for MaxPax in this game. Getting himself into a much better position early on. Again, bunker has a few Marines inside. As the Hellion and the Marines will step up. The Adept going to get chased away already. And push back right off the bat. As we will see the Hellion. Going to get the Adept right away there. Again, the Adept continue to come through. The couple Marines stepping forward. That Adept will fall. Widowmine going to gather up. Prism will begin to chrono boost out. Just see the couple of Widowmines still very much so gathering together here. Got Medevac coming through. Again, Blink coming up. Probes added on. Hellion is going to fall, so Hellion going down. Again, the Blink just about coming back through the Obs and the Probe. And the Nexus coming in. MaxPax really doesn't have too much issue in this early game. Apart from now a Widowmine drop, which she's dealing with quickly. Although, she's still allowed to retarget a little bit. Goes for a Stalker, but Blink is done. As the Clem kind of gets baited into hit the Stalker there. I was like, I just accidentally wanted this in here. It looked very innocent. It didn't look like it was baiting. And, yeah, Clem kind of falls for it rather than just taking the probe, which you could have had for some guaranteed damage. Now, the Stalkers get in. They are going to get 4 or 5 SCVs, lift straight back into the Prism and just back away. So, Clem can't even get a kill there. That's the power of the Stalkers and their mobility, especially when you're teamed up with that Warp Prism. Adds that mobility in such a big way. Clem in general here going to have to just hang back and play a little bit more defensively. You've had a bad early game. Just got to hold back and try and make sure not much else happens. Pump sets up, Ops pulls back. Be able to get that Observer. The Obs goes down. The few Marines coming around the other side. Stalker's going to continue getting hits. As the tank shot was good. Again, the Prism is just such a get-out-of-jail-free card for these Stalkers. Well, not really a get-out-of-jail-free card because it was also their way in. It's such a good transport mechanism for them. Getting in and getting back out once again. And +1 charge coming about. The Robobane gates coming online. Immortal going to get built up here. There is going to be another few Zards warping in once again. As we have got MaxPax looking to step forward. These Stalkers walk up this ramp Blink's way just before we lose anything. I will be there, chase the Stalkers back. A couple of Zelds come through, chasing after the SCVs. Widowmine's burrow, but too late to really knock back the Prism. Prism will get the unloads, likely has to recall because obviously it's chased by a Viking. This Clem is continuing over the other side, so he's not being distracted by that Prism play. He's just being a go, go, go. He says, yep, I'm okay. I want to get in position. He knows he doesn't want, he knows the Prism is a delay tactic, and he's kind of done delaying. He is really wanting to force the issue sooner rather than later. As the Prism did, in the end, not go down, it just recalled. So yeah, Prism had to get out of there, as we were suggesting previously as well. Thanks for Siege, Viking overhead still. We actually get a couple Stalkers. The tank's in position, putting some work in. Then rebuilding some of his SCVs. As he does have a third command center, it's just not morphed into anything or moved into position yet. So it does exist. It's just about actually bringing that into play. As MaxPax thinks about his fourth base, Clem should be thinking about his own third. And it is floating over right now. Hasn't become an orbital yet, but that can be next on the list of things to do here. CC drops straight on in. Bio and the tanks gather together. And Dark Shrine coming up. We add a Nexus on. We put the cannon into place. He's just going to nip around the sides. And Dark Shrine just over halfway done. A couple batteries coming up. Add a robo facility in. A few Marines and Marauders will step over to the right. Couples I'll just keep moving about. Our Stalker's going to sit around as best they can. You just see MaxPax saying, well, if there's not much going on, I'll take yet another base. And of course, right now there is not a lot going on. Clem is sitting back. MaxPax holds the map control. And the +1 armor upgrade coming through. The +2 attack over halfway done. So upgrades are looking good for MaxPax as well. He will take a lead going into the attack upgrades. The armor upgrade, like I said, trailing a bit. I'm ready to start his 2-2 shortly, I'd imagine. Also just now going to start his Ghost Academy, so first time we're going to see Clem start an attack a little further, a little deeper. Obviously, he did build a few Vikings already. There are 3 Colossus in the game, so Vikings are a necessity. 7 at the moment. Just need to make sure you have a good amount of Vikings. You need to make sure that you're going to have enough to really fight against these Colossus. Or if you don't have enough Vikings, then at least Liberators to kind of hold the position. But something in the sky is a necessity in this matchup. There's a reason you see it so often. And this is not going to be any different here, as I'm definitely worried a bit for Clem. He's been on the back foot all game, but he is close to maxing out. Obviously, a maxed out Terran can always fight a maxed out Protoss. Much for this will just come down to, I suppose, how those fights do happen. Who can micro the better side and look a little bit better overall? These are all good questions as the couple of Vikings gather up, and we will see our DT is going to get absolutely blasted. So turret's going down again. Disruptor shot fires through. It's going to hit nicely on the Marauders as their follow-up. Not really. Still nice though, because those Marauders are now a little bit weakened. It's medevac energy that's drained away, so there is benefit still to landing the Disruptor shot. It's just there's no follow-up from MaxPax immediately, so a lot of that may not come into play in the end. But Mine's going to deal with some of the Zealots moving up, as we're going to see Clem taking a bit of a jump on this army. First Disruptor shot doesn't do much of anything. The Vikings having free reign. Next Disruptor shot was a little better. Clem has to back away, but the next Disruptor shot also isn't really landing, so MaxPax's army just gets absolutely melted. What a fight from Clem, completely one-sided. Wow, that was just beautiful. The Disruptors did absolutely nothing. The Colossus just melted the Vikings. And Clem just lets his tanks hold the position, chases when he feels it's necessary. Hard to really expect him to have done much more in that one. Now, MaxPax rebuilds quickly. You're not going to be on the same army, though. This is now going to be Disruptor heavy. The Colossus are gone, so you're not going to have Colossus involved. They are not going to be consistent splash damage. You're super reliant on Disruptors. like I say, a very different style of playing. It can work, but it's going to be very tough against someone like Clem, who is patient. He's comfortable playing the long game. Like, he doesn't feel the need to, like, okay, this game must end now, otherwise I'm done for, right? Like, he's comfortable playing the long game, whereas a lot of players in these scenarios, why they lose is because they're like, oh crap, no, I really want to end the game before he gets set back up. Now Clem actually gets caught as the retreater, and he actually loses a lot himself, so both players going back and forth. I love the Liberator Edition. I think it's the perfect call for this moment of the game, where, yes, there's Stalkers, but that's really the only anti-air. I think Libs are a fantastic call. Like I said, there's no High Templars and Storms, there's no Archons currently. There's going to be added in, but right now it's just Stalkers versus those Liberators, and I think Clem kind of fancies that opportunity. Even if we're not on Advanced Ballistics just yet, even if we're not on that Liberator range, which is obviously usually also powerful. But Disruptor shots flying through, SCV just pulling back, Planetary Fortress taking damage. Let's do ship weapons, 3-3. Continue to come about. Another couple disruptors coming around as well. I'm just going to set up one more time. As our Stalkers, the disruptors come over once more. We are going to see the Bio continue to chase. A couple of Vikings up at the top. We're going to have to lift back up into the skies as we come on forward. It's a nice split away once again, just making space for the majority units to come through. However, DTs are going to be a big disruption that Clem has yet to have really had to deal with. Another split that just, basically the space just wraps around the disruptor. It's incredible as Clem chases this army down. He wants to get as much of this tech as he can. The more of these tech units that get knocked down here, the better off Clem's going to feel about it. 20 SCVs have fallen, so Clem is in trouble in terms of economy. He's down 30 workers, up in army supply. Definitely has the army that's trading a lot better. What is nice is that MaxPax is not going to be able to replace DTs easily, because he's got to also replace army that he's just been losing out on. So it has to be a decision right now for MaxPax. Do I commit to making DTs to harass him, or do I commit to making just a better army again to actually have a fight in the longer game? As they max out here, Clem will have the larger army because, of course, he is on so many less workers from what he's just been losing, as we've mentioned before. Stalkers set up. Medevac is going to get chased. A couple of Medevacs I picked here. It's Clem's supply that's once again kind of on the trailing end of things. So let's jump onto the bunker. So take this bunker down. The few SCVs are going to come pulling across as well. Fire comes about. It's going to be seeing another disruptor shot coming through. In the end, it's just too much. Clem is the one whose army will break down. And that's fantastic for us because it means a game at number 3 between the two favorites. In the top right-hand side, our blue Protoss player is going to be MaxPax as we get tied up 1-1. He brings it back. As now we have in the bottom left our red Terran player Clem. Look to see what's going to happen, how this is going to go. Very, very exciting. SG coming about, the depot coming online. And get settled here for a few moments. As that probably moves through the center and comes down to that bottom left-hand side. So away we go, getting into position. Early moments. Pro's gonna nibble. SCV will take some shots. Got the depot going down on the other side. SCV just chases the... gets chased away. And yeah, the Reaper will start up. Last game was weird as well, because Clem lost that Reaper without even being able to scout with it as well, right? Which is kind of funky. SCV and probe pull straight through once again. Just gonna get right back into position. For a few moments. Everybody gets out on the map and away we go. We've seen little grabs. The Reaper already getting its second kill of the game. That's 2 probes, 1 scouting, 1 right there. As the couple of Reapers continue to come about, so again we get that up and running. We've seen the Twilight Council continue to come by, so we get that up and running as well. We've seen the Reapers, the Hellion all continue to come on through. You have the CC on the way as well, so Clem just gets that going as he just starts to send some units across the map. So obviously high ground CC playing it pretty safely to begin with, and getting set up from there right now as we go and go. And now it's over to the other side, so I'm just going to step straight on over. Just going to see the Reapers and the Hellions hitting that at depth already, so some damage being done. Gonna see some of the Reapers and the Hellions jumping, some of the Reapers jumping up, and we actually will try and grenade our way into an opportunity to kill more workers. Obviously the Hellions and Stowe trying to break through on the front, but that being a full wall off makes it a lot safer for MaxPax. We get 1 more probe in the main, as we are just gonna have to back away here. The Hellions again against a complete wall off. There's not really much else that you can do, right? So it is gonna call that one as a little bit of a wrap up. So that one's gonna get all caught. Stalkers have to actually kill off the pylon, unfortunately, because they've walled themselves in. So, well, they're not walled themselves in, but the map was walled in and the base was walled in. Dropping to the main base, and the Stalkers are out on the low ground. Blink not ready yet. The mobility isn't here to come back quickly. Clem starts to do early damage. 4 probes going down. The drop very successful. And we've seen a few pros continue about for the moment. Going back across. We've seen the Stalkers stepping forward, just going to be stepping through. Max is going to step on down. Just going to be seeing the Stimpack coming up, the Raven coming through as well. And we've seen the charge, the Nexus continue to come out. A couple of probes coming about. The Stimpack and the +1 very much so still on the way in. We're going to see a few more probes going down, but at least this will be a cleanup then from MaxPax, so he is able to shut that down and shut this off. Buy upgrades now coming through, though, and MaxPax is still yet to really do much himself in this game, right? I mean, he's cleaned up a bunch of units, but he's taken a massive beat into his economy repeatedly. It's not been good trades. Clem has found fantastic scenarios. And like I say, as buy upgrades finish, you're going to run out of time here. It's going to be seeing the Robo Bay continue to get going on that extended thermal lance. Against Impact, Combat Shield +1 comes through, the Marine Marauder coming up, and Colossus producing extra gates coming in, the charge upgrade starting as well. As we just see the couple of Medivacs moving their way through the bottom sides again, +1. Combat Shield all coming up. Stalker's going to get there to grab a Marine. The rest of the Medivacs here going to get jumped on. The few Stalkers going to go through and get rid of one Medivac right off the bat. And yeah, the +1 attack upgrade still coming through on the Engineering Bay. The few Marines are going to chase the Stalkers. Firefall's back, just going to get one more Stalker here. Definitely been a great opening from Clem, who takes his third base now. On what is a pretty sizable map as he expands out to the triangular base. You can kind of get across and begin to move on forward, so we'll see if Clem wants to actually step across the map or not. Like I say, I feel like it's been a good start for him. We'll see when he wants to maybe take more advantage of that. Vikings will just come across, the Prism gets taken down, a couple of Zealots will charge, the Marine will go down, the Bio just going to push through as well, Raven's still very much so overhead. Sami continuing to cross, the few Stalkers are going to step on through. A couple of Wooden Mines just going to continue to step up. The Stalkers will step forward, and Clem actually has to go and save a Widow Mine because it did end up on the wrong side of things there, but we do save it, so not too bad. The Stalker's going to come about. Just going to be seeing the Siege Tank. Going to get a lot of damage done. We do lose out on that tank then, and the rest of the Bio, the Vikings, is going to go through the Zealot and continue to set up down this low ground. Supply difference is at 40. Upgrades in Clem's favor. Tech coming along nicely, getting Vikings up and running. Potential for Ghost Academy. He's finishing the armory, so he'll start 2-2, and then he can go from there. Well, that Bio just going to continue to come over. And the Guardian Shield going to pop up. A couple of Stalkers going to come through. Force Fields go down. And again, the couple of Vikings and the Marauders still stepping forwards here. We're going to see the Disruptor shots. Lands dead center as Clem does not respect the Disruptor of MaxPax at all. Now, he's still doing very good damage. Vikings still alive and chasing forward. The anti-army missile helping him to clear through a lot of those units quickly. A couple more Widowmine shots going off. I mean, Clem comes out of this fine. It was just that Disruptor shot was the big bang of the whole thing. Then we'll probably have to reinforce here before we do much else. There's Papa Mitch on the 117-month resub. Nearly 10 years of subscribing. Currently coming in at the tier 2. Thank you so much for the ridiculous resub. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing good as always. Again, 2-2 coming about. Again, a couple extra Disruptors still coming in. The Disruptor shot just comes about. The Widow Mine going to get grabbed, and we will see our Nexus coming up as well. Widow Mine going to fire. Zeld goes down. Disruptor still joining up. The Bio units are going to be gathering in. The cannon goes down as well. I mean, this Nexus in the top side is obviously just in an awkward place. That should be difficult for MaxPax to defend, especially considering he's got to respect the main army that's right here. Not quite on his front doorstep, but kind of in his front garden. And, yeah, our Nexus 12 o'clock does go down. So MaxPax is a 3-base Protoss suddenly. And, yeah, Clem is just getting ready to take his 4th base. Clem definitely controlling this game, but MaxPax will try and stay in it, try and get a couple good Disruptor shots, buy himself time, give himself a chance. Maybe tough, though. Yeah, bottom right attempt of a base is not good. I think MaxPax kind of needs to take the forward. I mean, maybe the forward gold would have been nice, but in a game where you lack control because Clem took control so early, I feel like all the bases in this map almost become a little bit difficult when you're lacking control. They're definitely all like a step away from each other. The one he's going to try and take right now is the most obvious one. As the Vikings will again try and finish off some of the Colossus here and just knock down some of that more standard splash damage that has been helping MaxPax to maintain distance from this Terran force as best as possible. Live force coming straight through, going to knock that Nexus down. And the rest of the bios are stepping up again. Zealot's going to charge on forwards. Wouldn't mind shots going off. Disruptors will land on a few Marauders once more. Medevac's actually just going to come dropping straight into the main base, so going to get an opportunity to cause disruption. We're not really in a position right now as MaxPax to spend warpins out of position, but this one has to come in over here. He actually pulls a lot of units to the main. Clem is not really in position with the main army to capitalize on the fact so much is in the main base. He's stepped back a little bit. He was repositioning from the right more towards the center. So it's actually going to come out to be a little costly for him in the end. Still seeing those 3-3 upgrades, +2 ship weapons coming about also. Disruptor shot lands short. MaxPax tries to drag himself toward being maxed out. It is truly a massive disruptors. Going to be reliant on that Shadow Stride as well, that DT blink very shortly too. Force fields go down. That Stalker gathers up. Disruptors as well. Gathering for the moment. Just going to be seeing the massive drop from Clem. I like it, to be honest, because MaxPax does not necessarily have the units to, like I say, keep on splitting up all the time, but he was on top of this one, and he got the instant kill on a medevac, which is huge. And that's so many disruptors that Clem can't reasonably attack in. So I think what Clem needs to do is maybe stop diving to the main. Like, this is only a 3-base Protoss. We should not be in a major rush to kind of do further damage. Like, you are a 4-base moving to 5-base Terran player. One of those bases is going to be a gold. Defend yourself from the possibility of what MaxPax can do, DTs, and just keep him off of 4 bases, right? Like, if you've got him on 3 bases, just keep him there. He will bleed out of this game, because eventually he would have to attack into you. You can't just, the pros can't just sit on 3 bases forever. When he attacks into you, because he's so disruptor heavy, his army is terrible. Like, MaxPax does not have a composition for attacking into a Terran. The disruptor army is already kind of bad at kind of attacking into Terrans. When you have this many disruptors, 11, it's just never going to happen. So yeah, deny the 4th base, keep him on 3, and just put him in a position where he says, oh, well, this is it. I just have to go. Like, I'm running out of money. Because then you're always going to win the fight. So yeah, I'm maybe getting a little bit overzealous with the drops towards the main and splitting up still. Like I said, I think he's, in a normal game, when MaxPax was on 4 or 5 bases, that sort of stuff's great. In this game, it's just so unnecessary to the grand scheme of the situation. Obviously, Liberated Range will finish, which gives him a very good defensive setup as well. Even more reason to just have MaxPax attacking into you. MaxPax is going to threaten the attack. This time he's going to do it while expanding, which is definitely one of the better ways. May get him at least the 4th base up. Does not have a drop over there to go and punish the 4th base coming up during this push. So DT steps forward and actually gets rid of the Ghost. That just did not have the detection to protect itself. Did not realize it in time to drop an EMP on said DT either, obviously. And is going to get the gold base mining here as well, so we'll be able to make use of that. Has the Liberators to gain the zone. It's a very choked up area kind of around this space, and that's why Clem is kind of chasing, because he knows the moment the Libs siege up for him, it's already kind of complicated for MaxPax to really do much about it in return. Disruptor fires straight up the ramp, but it will not find a target. Just reactor even. I know it's a good time when the Terran's getting the medevac upgrade. Clem needs to finish off the rocks on the gold, by the way. He's mining the gold base with the rocks still up, which is a little amusing as we end up going for the wraparound. It's chaotic for MaxPax, blowing up his own zealots. Shows you that he's a little bit stressed out trying to take this fight. Liberators are going to continue to chase him down. Archon's dying currently, and again, the Libs just keep stepping forward. So many of those units as they take Liberator shots melting away. Good split back from Clem. Continue to chase despite the disruptors and making value out of it. And this is the issue for MaxPax. Like, rebuilding from here is so tough, but he did get a 4th base up, so you can't completely disagree with what, MaxPax's approach. Like, he did the right thing. I think he realized, like, sitting back and trying to take a 4th wasn't ever working. So so it's time for him to go. Clem just scanned all 3 of the possible bases of MaxPax, and it's like, okay, just getting a read on where your economy's at. It is just 4 bases. You've only just started the 5th. The 4th is mining, though, so Clem knows the kind of, location to target. Sees the army here, just going to siege up the Liberators aggressively again. There's just not a lot that gets rid of those Libs quickly. Disruptor shots were reasonable, but they were not good enough. And Clem is going to take a 2-1 victory over MaxPax in the semifinals.